y'all to.
Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, did everybody get the minutes of last month's territory meeting? Does anybody have any questions or corrections? I'll entertain a motion to accept.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Did everybody receive the bank statement?
Motion to accept the bank statement?
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you. I have a docket of $1,099,893.71. Did everybody receive that? And does anybody have any questions?
Motion to accept the docket?
Yeah, I made a mistake on this top line here. It should be a better identification than that. I just made it a .1. So
The
transaction number, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just electronic payment. You're just recording, like, the trustee made that payment to. Right, same. I did that.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
do that.
that's the first one on that bank. So it's .1.
Does anybody have any questions? Did we get that far? I apologize.
Second.
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody, maybe did you give everybody a copy of this?
The budget? Yes. I gave everybody a color copy.
Okay.
You have it?
Oh, I didn't have a color copy.
Yeah.
Jamie's a lot prettier than mine. But then I don't know if everybody else has a color printer that would do that. However, did everybody receive the budget for the territory for 2027? Does anybody have any questions?
Be happy to answer any. We did have just a couple of highlights. We had a pretty significant increase in the 77 perf for the full-time guys. That's a state statute. It actually went up this year that we found out about after we had set 26's budget. And then it's going up again for 27. That's the contribution we have to make to the state retirement fund that's set by Indiana statute. So 152,000 to the 203,000 is kind of the center of that count one there. That's the account for the increases for this year and next year. And then as we sent out, we'll talk about here in a little bit, the health insurance went out. So that's the well over $100,000 of the total increase. The payroll is a 3% increase for everybody for the payroll. 3% raise.
Now, that is not only the employees, that is the board
Yes.
and okay.
Everybody that gets payroll will be 3%.
And that's, so this, the 3% won't hit until like July, so.
Correct.
We
Pardon?
next
So this
year.
budget's a full year of an increase.
Do you have this in front of you?
Yeah.
If you look at the second, third line, second line is the board. If you look at 26 and then 27, it goes up $424. And that is because everybody gets a 3% raise. Yeah, me and the board.
I'm just stunned.
But it won't go into effect until you adopt a salary ordinance. So right now, you're just giving them permission to spend or to adopt that budget. But until you adopt a salary ordinance, you can't increase the pay.
And
So that will come,
to Michelle's point, like,
Yeah.
we're not, this year's raises don't happen until July 1. This is budgeted for the entire year of 2027, but we do the raises in July.
This is actually
So we
really July 1 to June.
Yeah. The first half of the year will be off of the rates from the second half, but this year, so.
And that's the way it's.
We've been doing it the last couple of years, because
Is
that's,
it too much? Do you want us to?
No,
reduce this?
Just, I just whispered to him, it's $5.
It's 3%.
On that, regarding the provider salary, I know that we had discussion about catching that up after a couple of years of being off, and that, has that already been compensated for?
It's fine.
Well, that's, it was fine, I just asked if we adjusted it.
I don't remember,
Oh, he's still getting over that 3% raise.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's not, I get you.
I know
I
we
don't
had
think
talked,
we did.
I got an
We didn't
increase
ever do anything.
2 years.
Yeah.
I know it was in the talking and discussion phase, but I wasn't sure if it was on the budget end or on the,
I don't think it ever
Resolution.
passed the talking stage.
I don't think so.
still think it needs to be looked at and discussed. What is the provider of a multi-billion-dollar a year operation? I forget what it's
Multi-billion?
Million.
I was like, that's
Million.
freaking billions.
Million.
I was about to say, did I get, do I need to get
Multi-million.
a bigger bond or?
I mean, it would be probably nice to see what other presidents of territories are.
And I think that's where we were at. I think it just stalled.
And yeah, it's because nobody was ever assigned that duty to, hey, go look at some comps.
Make a recommendation.
Okay.
Josh isn't here, but we have Josh look into that. He knows his way around all that stuff.
He's very good. He's very good.
I just want to make sure that just doesn't fall off the radar again. I mean, you got the 3%, which is good.
We have a few territories, I think in Madison County would be nice to see, just like kind of where we're at.
The best one to be
Compared to
compared
them.
to would be South Madison, but theirs is ran through the town, so I don't know they get an additional. Because they're all full-time employees to begin with the town, so. I don't know that, and you really can't compare it to the other territories because they're very small, they're volunteer departments, so I'm sure they won't have somebody getting
Yeah.
a regular salary.
Mhm.
They probably have to look at Hancock County or some other ones.
But the farther south we go, it's looking pretty ugly.
Then we could take some.
I don't think that's just fine.
Reduce your salary.
There you go. There you go.
I just want to make sure that
I can tell you what, I could probably look up a few to see what, like, some other fire presidents / like trustees that run fire departments, their salaries range, just so you have an idea.
and that could be taken care of then at the in the salary stations.
Yes, and salary ordinance, you can change it anytime, you can update it as many times as you want throughout the year. Doesn't have to be once to do it. You know, multiple times.
We updated ours for and start because we
The wellness coordinator,
Yeah.
yeah,
started off at $1 figure and then we decided she needed more, so we gave her more. And we had to reset that. So
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that
thank you.
you were still. on
Sure.
that docket.
Is there any questions on the budget for the territory? So you got anything else you want to add on it?
I don't, obviously, I wanna know if this hydrant rental is like legal, people paying it. That's one of the big things. And then, I mean, I ran, my own numbers just to make sure. I would think it's sustainable. I do think it's sustainable, so, I mean, that's.
I did think about one thing. I'm sorry Josh was not here. He brought something to my attention last week that is it Jeff Moore is gonna try and sign up for 457.
Yeah,
He has not done that yet.
yeah. It's on him. We've given him several opportunities. He just can't really do it for last year at this point.
But we don't
have
have,
to make up for this year if he signs up for it.
do we have anything allocated for that?
Yeah, so it's the civilian. It's under the civilian. So his, mine and his are the only ones that fall under civilian. Everybody else is in the 77. It's two different lines for that. So that's why that's,
$2 billion.
yeah, he is, but it's such a small amount.
Yeah.
So yes, you're correct. There's three. But the majority is mine and would be Jeff's if this was coming out. He's never signed up the stuff he needs to do for that. So, but that's why that civilian line is proportionally not is coming down as much as the other ones have because there's money sitting there for that.
Does it have his in there too? Just Tim's,
Pardon me?
I think his comes out of the township.
the
side.
township?
Mine comes out of township.
The territory doesn't put a portion, I guess, on that one.
It hasn't.
The, when we started that was, how can I politely put this? It was kind of a, it was difficult because we were trying to check to see about helping one of our employees at the time. And they all of a sudden said, well, what about Billy? And correct me if I'm not wrong, but we had been paying in for Billy for 2+ years. And they said, well, he's not even signed up.
Mhm.
And it's like, we've been paying you for over 2 years. We've been listing him on this.
That was a problem on their end.
That is true.
The employees in.
So then they said, well, what about $10?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we paid.
And they said, well, he hasn't been paying it. So, yeah, that was different.
So again, besides
So-
3%, we've got this, the 77 fund, 50,000-ish. Health insurance. Some minor adjustments, and we did bump up the equipment repair because the trucks are getting aged. We had a lot of repairs this year. And then a little bit on insurance on the second page and then the hydro.
Now, so everybody understands the insurance on the second page, which is category 3, that is insurance for the vehicles, building, and equipment. That's not
Health
the
insurance.
first page, that is for the insurance for the employees.
Account 1 is all personnel services, so that's where health insurance goes. And then, like you said, the liability and buildings and everything's under account 3. And part of that's just going up because we've got 4 new vehicles, so have a lot more value to them. 2 tankers and 2 ambulances.
Yes, sir. So,
It is a higher percentage increase than what, without question, we were planning on, but most of that is over half of that. Big thing is, the birth, the retirement, that's by statute, we have a choice on that, and the health insurance.
And then it's that's a pretty standard raise. It's not like
Yeah,
life changing. It's not.
3% for pay
Yeah.
raises is, anything less than that's not a good thing nowadays. So
Yeah. I agree.
we had some good conversations with Michelle about that from the finance side, so appreciate her looking at all this ahead of time for us.
does anybody have any questions about the budget for 27?
And just to reiterate, this will go to the Richland board in July. and then back to you again in August for the final vote. So both boards will, all of you will see it again.
This is
To
the,
meet interlocal.
this is to vote on the territory budget. And then we'll go to Richland and they will vote on the territory budget in July. When it comes back, we will basically vote on the entire budget. Or do I?
Union would do the actual, like,
Total budget.
official budget, and you could do it in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just needs to be done by November 1st. Adoption and all that.
Is anybody not going to be here for August? Speaking of,
I mean, that is a pretty early, like, adoption, just so you know.
are you saying you won't be ready?
I mean, I'll be ready, but
You're probably ready now.
the
aren't
state
you?
probably won't have any of their stuff out. I mean, it's fine though. We can still adopt it.
Well, no matter what we do from Union Township, that's not through the state, I mean, they're speaking, so it really won't matter. Almost.
Wait, so you're saying that's not the final? You
Well,
saying-
no, I'm saying that's not up to the state, so as
Right.
far as the DLGF,
Yeah, they just
So-
will have like estimates, different estimates out that, but we should be fine.
and what I'm talking about is the Union Township general budget for our township. That is come off of local income tax, what we call LIT. And that's what Doug and I get monthly because of the territory. And that's what funds our Union Township general fund. And then 35% of that goes to the territory. So,
So, yeah, I guess that's something just kind of to bring up to monitor in the future, because obviously
no
we don't
matter-
know what's gonna happen with lit. And
correct.
we won't be able to adopt our own lit here, so. It would be,
And it's next year that we get with the county.
It's approved in 28, takes effect 29.
Okay.
Got moved back a year. So we need to start politicking,
yeah.
at least by next year.
Smooth
So
it.
we have a new board. So building relationships. And every municipality in the county is in the same boat, so everybody's gonna be wanting a max.
Mhm. So
And
we need
they
to
pay for-
show a need for it, you
And
know?
they pay for the jail out of that, so there will be a list, it's just how it's gonna be divided. up.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. Rick's out. Who's taking Rick's? That's, is that the commissioner or is that the council?
That's the treasurer, right? I don't know.
Yeah, he's leaving commissioner and taking.
Yes.
Denver,
And you're be the next commissioner, most likely.
Most likely.
No till November.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on the budget?
I'm good. I got all my questions answered.
The only question I've got is, do we need to vote on this as like a first reading to
No,
have it
it's
be
not.
forward to the next step?
It's not actually, we're gonna vote on it, but we don't, it's not gonna be a first reading kind of
Okay.
thing.
It's the territory board adopting the budget with understanding it goes toward the townships.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is we.
By the interlocal agreement, it first comes to the territory board, and as long as the territory board approves it, it then goes to the Richland Township Board.
The idea being, since you both are represented here, if you generally have a problem with it, we can fix it before it starts going down the line, right? Generally speaking, if you all agree to it now, then.
Well, that
shouldn't
should,
have
that's
problems
why
down the
we
line.
need to make it a form of a motion
We will,
to accept this to move to the next.
Yes,
I
I'm
think we
getting,
should.
yes, I'm getting ready to, I was just wanting to make sure nobody had any other questions or.
Okay, that's fine. Moving right along.
Thank you. Jack, do you have any questions about this?
I do not have any questions. No, sir.
Doug? I know Michelle doesn't. So if nobody has any questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept the proposed 2027 budget for the territory.
I'll make a motion that we 2027 budget as presented be approved. Second.
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 Okay, we have a second, third. If everybody, please say aye.
Aye.
You approve? Aye. Does anybody disagree? I'll say that as a no. So we have a total board approval. Okay, for EMS revenue, we had $56,528.72. We were up a little bit from last month. I don't have anything else. Chief, do you want me to, do you want to talk about the two gentlemen, or do you want to do that?
We're good.
Okay. Did everybody get a chance to look at Tyler Nixon and Taylor Goshen?
Just a quick synopsis of both. Tyler Nixon's actually a full-time firefighter in Alexandria, looking to come here on a part-time basis. We're obviously, both departments work very closely together, so. We do more of some of the technical stuff, like the dive team and hazmat and stuff like that, and work rescue. And that's something that Alexandria just does not have the ability to do, so he's looking to help. To come be part-time for us, but then get more training in some of those areas that we have specialties in. So he's a firefighter, EMT, and like I said, career firefighter at Alexandria. And then Taylor Goshen actually lives just back here on Mill Creek. He stopped by the station about a year and a half ago. He's a realtor, but he's looking to get in the fire service, and talked to one of the lieutenants here about what do I need to do to become a firefighter, and you know, what's the career path look like, and he laid it all out for him. A year later, he knocked back on the door, and he's already got his fire 1 and 2, and he's got his EMT and his hazmat training and all that stuff. So he's been very busy the last year. Real nice gentleman. He's wanting to make this a career eventually, but you know, starting. He lives with right behind the station, CrossFit instructor, and so I'd like to recommend both of these guys for part-time firefighter EMT switch.
Chief, I can make a comment. I'd like to make a comment on Tyler Nixon. We need to hire him full time. I'm very impressed with his
Yeah, he's got
his credentials.
He does well. He does well for Alexandria and their neighbor of ours. So. But,
Just really impressed with it on paper.
I did make a note, Taylor, if you saw it, there was a driving history from several years ago. We've already reached out to our insurance carrier, and that it's been long enough that they have no issues with it. So if you didn't see that, I made a note on there that it already cleared Capstone. We checked with them. So
Two questions I always read every applicant for the last two questions. On one of these applicants, the last question he answered, I've never seen an answer before. I was rather surprised, but I don't think it counts against it. Make that unusual.
No, I gotta read it. That's the part.
I was, the last two
You got
questions.
one person in reference of what we're talking about?
I'll
Must have
wait.
missed it, and I read it really thoroughly.
yes, I did.
I perused it as well. What?
Oh, no.
Last page. Last page, last page.
This is honest.
Yeah, yeah. It's true. I would like to make a motion that we accept both applicants as presented by Chief Burke.
Tyler Nixon and Taylor Goshen.
I'll second it.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Got 225 runs for May. Obviously, yeah, we talked about the ambulances are here. The one for here, Mag 51 is now in service. The one for the Richmond station is currently being put, like that radio and stuff put on to it. So my guess is by sometime next week, it'll go in service and we'll send out at least a couple days ahead of time for a little quick ceremony like we did for this one. So here in the near future, next couple of weeks, the old Richland ambulance is currently reserved truck for us will go on sale at the garage, and Josh will get with you, Doug, and get that set up. So it's like we've done ambulance. Primary engine here is currently at Stoops for an engine code. Jeff had to take down the electrical diagram thumb drive to them the other day. They're trying to, I think we got a bad node somewhere, trying to figure out which one. It keeps throwing an engine code. So, we started a 2.5-week hazmat technician course yesterday. This is a state certification course. There's 14 in the class. It's being held at the Richland station. We also have people from Alexandria, Elwood, and South Madison in the class with us. It's paid for by a grant through the LEPC. There's 4 of us going to the annual hazmat conference in Baltimore Wednesday through Sunday of next week. All of that conference travel, everything's covered by the county. So it costs the territory for that. We started the installation of the 6 new garage doors for here. They got one, they did all the load in yesterday. Initially, they actually had to go buy a new lift. Apparently the lift they had went bad, so they went and bought a brand new one. They got one door in today. I think the big so they're going to do one door a day until they get. I'll sit around and look around the weather too with having rain about every day. So, but they did get one of the doors in. We'll be back tomorrow. So, definitely a nice. They replaced the one that had all the rust at the bottom, so it started with that one first. So that's so.
One that you were scared to open up.
Yeah, it actually wasn't working last couple of weeks. So. We mentioned we have ongoing stuff for the 3rd and the 4th, more meetings this coming week. And then we were reached out by Anderson University to start doing their home football games again this year. Last year, they were totally redoing the stadium, so they had all of their games were off site. So I think Lapel or somebody covered it because they were doing over there. But they reached out to us, so we're going to work on an agreement. We've done this in years past, and we provide ambulance for them to charge them for that. So it's like 4 or 5 games in the fall. So. That's the update. I did sent you this. This is just a little snapshot. Remember we talked about a few months ago that Barracuda email protection software. This is the first 5 months of this year. All of the threats that have been caught and quarantined are eliminated. The number one threat so far right now is currently Josh, obviously, all the stuff with all the vendors and
You're at
stuff.
the top of the list.
But he's had 252 what they identified as threats come towards his email. 624 spams, 22 phishings. Actually, a couple of things of phishing and 14 malwares. So it's definitely been trying to keep bad actors from getting into our email system. So. The only other thing we've got is the discussion about health insurance. We do have renewal on July 1st, so we have to make a kind of decision tonight on what we want to do with that. I sent you all the emails, the PowerPoint, which I have up here for reference, that scorecard, and the explanation about where we're at. So just open that up for if you have thoughts or what we want to do on health insurance starting July 1.
There's a 10% or just under a 10% increase if you stay with the
It's
same.
roughly a 10% increase, and we did include that in the 27 budget. So bumping it up to that 385, which is probably around somewhere, included that 10%, as I mentioned in that email. So now we're basically keeping the exact same coverages we have currently. They made some minor adjustments to the plan, like I explained. They do that every year. I think the deductible actually went up $100 a person or something. But overall, minor changes, but we still have 2 plans, the HSA plan and the Platinum PPO plan. Like I said, the employees that are on the PPO plan, they pay the difference of that. So it doesn't cost the territory more money than the HSA plan. And then we've been doing the HSA deduction basically, or the right terminology there. $1,250 for single and $2,500 for the deposit basically into the HSA plan. We did that this year.
Josh went through some of it last week.
Yeah. So we have switched to Gibson for managing all of that. Like I just explained, they're the now parent company of Capstone. So all of our insurance now will be health insurance, vehicles, everything will be through the same vendor. So obviously some advantage to that. They've done a much better job of it. And that was short notice for them to put this together for us. Like I mentioned, we'll have a lot more lead time next year to be able to look at all the options. So, see, it's your guys' decision how you want to handle that.
Does anybody have any questions about that?
I think Josh covered it good last week.
Yeah, I don't like that 122% increase.
That was the people.
Yeah,
And as I mentioned, it's in that presentation here, there's several vendors that would not even quote us just because of one being such a small group and then some of the high risk ones we have. We got a few people with some of their families and stuff that their family members are high risk, so it's just part of having family insurance, so. If we had, 100, 200 employees, that obviously that risk gets spread out on a lot bigger scale, it's not as visible, so. Most departments are like Alexandria, it's not just Alexandria Fire Department, they're part of the city. So you got police and streets and everybody else is in the town of Chesterfield has more than we have in health insurance because of all the town employees. So we're just a very, very small group.
12 people.
You need a motion, do we need a motion?
We
for
do
that?
need a motion. Does anybody wish to make a
I
motion?
make a motion to accept the proposal.
Do we have a second?
second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. Unless you guys have any questions, that's all I got.
Good job.
Jack, do you have anything?
I do not.
Lloyd?
No, sir.
Michelle?
Nothing.
Doug? I don't have anything. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you very much. Bless you. I definitely can't go home this early. Oh, you didn't hear that, did you?